Right, so last time the game froze right when I tried to sleep. So we're going to try to sleep again. Like we're timing this all right. It's going to be a little early to go back to sleep again, but it'll work. Oh, I still need to gain another 1 fatigue before I can sleep again. There we go. Not the most dramatic start, but that's why I usually try to sleep before I end the game. But my last stream ended with a bit of a crash, so... Alright, home sweet home. Can finally sort out the animals' food storage. What did I do with the food troughs here? To locate them again. Imagine just misplacing a couple of food troughs. I guess it happens to some of the experienced farmers out there. It's the vehicle I was using most recently. That's not it. That's not it. Drop them temporarily anywhere over here. Think so. It wasn't back here, was it? No. Okay, I'll just build some more. It's food troughs. It's just a couple of planks and nails. This was plaguing me last time. Right as I decide to do something, it starts raining again. And my decision of what to do depends on whether it's raining or not. You can't build food troughs in the rain, because the second the rain fills it up, you can no longer put it down, or you can no longer put food in it. I swear, the whole trough to contain either food or water thing is just so poorly implemented right now. Alright, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm just going to... What am I going to do? You know, I'm probably just going to start working on the roof. I mean, all of my problems right now are being caused by the fact that I don't have a roof over anything. And when you're building a roof over a building like this, in these circumstances, you want to use the walk to function. You can either right-click and hit walk to, or you can, the shortcut key is Y by default. You want to use that because the tile will turn red if it's one you're not supposed to walk on. Otherwise, the isometric view gives you no feedback whatsoever as to what is second level and what's on the first level. I think what sucks more than anything is I was hoping to just be done with animals right now. Just be done with farming, done with animals, move on to something neat, more interesting, but I can't be done with the animals if they don't even have a food source because of all this stupid, godforsaken rain. Alright, let's get us some logs. Make sure that the animals don't start running around angrily when I chop this. Okay. They don't seem to be bothered. That's good. I should swap out my my finished book for a new one here. Black step van. I hate that I don't have anything relevant to read right now. I'll just have to pass the time reading something, I guess. Yeah, that's right. I'm just using a sports car so that I can read peacefully in the rain without getting wetter. Read the muscle strain away. I know the rain just stopped. I'm not going to let it get me mad this time because it can't hurt to just keep working on the roof. I need it done eventually. I'm not going to go rush to try to get the feed troughs down, not when the rain could just start up the moment I get over there. Although it is tempting. It's really tempting. Can I make it? Alright, that's quite a lot of food. Ah, look at that. Almost made it, but not quite. Although it is safe to go ahead and empty the feed out of this one now. Because these guys already have at least one. So that just means I'm using the planks on hand to go build roofs instead of I could also build fences, but I'd much rather wait until I have hinges to build a gate. Continue with the roofs. Goes my first hammer. And the hammerhead is just still intact enough to smelt. So I can just dump the hammerhead straight into my smelting bin here. Ah, that's where I put the troughs, in the fridge. Silly place, but not unreasonable. This is getting really tiresome. This is the second night in a row it's happened. I'm not even gonna bother with any of the usual shit. Just gonna restart the game. This is what happens when you try to sleep. The game will just sometimes randomly freeze. Been happening a lot with the latest build. Unstable for you. Hey, let's try the sleep thing one more time. Instant nightmare. Thanks, game. I hate it. No, 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 no. Don't tell me you did this to me. Okay, we did lose something. We did lose something. The trunk of my vehicle doesn't have the stuff that I put into it. Alright, so here's what happened. When the game crashed, it did not dump everything to the disk. The vehicle inventory that had all the stuff that was in my backpack is now in the state that it was last time the save did a full dump, which is before I started this stream, which was, what was this, 25 minutes ago? So, an unknown amount of work that I've done in the past 25 minutes is now gone. I'm not going to tolerate that because that was that all of my fountain cups are gone now. You can't just find fountain cups anywhere. 12 of them is a collection that I've built up over a long period of time. So what I'm going to have to do, and you know what, you guys are just going to have to watch this because this is a part of playing Build 42 Unstable. I'm going to delete my save folder, and I'm going to go back in here into my backups and copy the backup from right when the stream started. So basically everything we've done so far is absolutely meaningless. Boy, howdy, does this suck. All right, deleted, copying. This will probably take 2 to 3 minutes. While we're doing that, I'm going to take a quick look at the Steam discussion board and just see if anybody else is talking about this. Why does sleeping crashes your game? Somebody help me. The devs are asking for a recording of the issue. Okay, people are saying that it actually has something to do with rain, which, boy, does that suck because we're getting nothing but rain, just like we did last month. And we got a lot of rain containers to fill up. That's just part of the game. Well, if the devs really do want a video of the crash happening, I'll just send them a video of this live stream. I'll just send them a link to this live stream. I mean, why the hell not? It's not like we're doing anything else while we're waiting for the save backup to record. What's up, JMac? We're just restoring a backup from a save because we had a crash and it reverted one of the vehicle inventories, so we lost a bunch of items. So I'm just reverting to a save backup now, erasing 20 minutes of work. I need to reply to Beard. Beard is the guy. He doesn't like taking bug reports from me because I have a couple of UI mods. UI mods apparently make all of my bug reports useless to them. But I'll go ahead and send it to him anyway. All right, so I did my contribution to the bug report thread. Who knows if it'll be useful, but at least now I can say that I've done something about it. Now another thing is the guys in the thread are saying that it's being exacerbated by rain filling up containers. That's a big problem for me because I got a lot of containers around my base. You know, I'm making full use of the rain filling things up mechanic. But in any case, we're reverting now to where the live stream was when it began, which is going to have us sleeping in the gas station, right? Now, I bet I could probably dodge the problem if I found a different place to sleep that doesn't have containers on screen. And specifically, we're talking about like, you put a pot, like an empty pot on the ground, and it fills up with water. That is probably what people are referring to. So I'm willing to bet if I were to head like somewhere south, I could probably sleep there safely, safe from the bug. So I'm going to go ahead and pop into my police car and we'll see if we can find a safe place to sleep during the rain. I might have to fight my way there because I have not dealt with respawns in the south for a while. But the south also has the least amount of stuff that could be sitting out and collecting water. And I suppose we can also say that we haven't entirely wasted our time because now we know exactly how the next 24 hours of weather are going to play out. We're going to have a break around noon tomorrow, and I'll use that opportunity to build some feeding troughs for my animals so they don't starve. I'll just do something else in the meantime, I guess. Alright, we got a lot of zombies to clear down here, but this is also fresh territory. I have not left anything sitting out around here. So we're going to do a little killing. Always use your headlights as a free flashlight where you can. Due north or just one? I think just one. They need to draw them all out of hiding. So that's the theory right now. And the bug report thread that I was looking at, that's what folks are theorizing. A lot of other people are saying that it got worse. Oh shit. I'm gonna have to focus here for a second. A lot of other people are saying it got worse when they had lots of containers nearby that were filling up. And that absolutely tracks with my experience. So by going down here to the south, we're avoiding any containers that I know about. I did not have a clear angle of approach here, so this is dangerous. I usually like to have a very clean angle of approach when I clear an area. And I also like to do it not at night. But the situation has compelled us to make some silly decisions. Alright. I've dealt with much worse. My short blunt is amazing right now. We're not quite up to maces, but we're getting there. And we're getting some skills. From several angles. Discharging the firearm was a bad idea. Very bad idea. I forgot that the woods to the south are a really big problem. I don't understand it, but to the south of Riverside, like outside the city, between the city and the main road down there, the woods are nuts. And I did not consider that the firearm would pull them up from there. I'm not sitting down. I need endurance, but I'm not sitting down. Big hype moment. Good thing about being at short blunt at this level, I'm still combat effective even at stage 1 exertion. Even when silly shit like that happens. Alright, 66 fatigue, we got about 15 more to work with. Alright. Looking alright to get the vehicle back. The light bar did its job well. The lights just by themselves and the vehicle engine will attract zombies. It won't peel them off of you, but it'll attract them from the local area. Let's take a little look-see at this area right here instead. Might be a little safer than being close to the road there. The devs really don't like anybody who drives on that road. They just throw a constant stream of zombies their way. Back door. Ah, laundry room. Oh, a bucket that could... You see, one of my instincts right now, right, would just be to grab this bucket and toss it outside. I gotta fight that because that's contributing to the problem. Alright, we gotta do a perimeter sweep if we want to sleep here. Hello. God bless those dark tide echolocation senses. There's no better game on this planet to make you listen to things with a hyper focus than dark tide. We got a pillow. We got pillows. We got plenty of pillows. Is it safe? I'm thinking it's safe. Let's have a little drink first. I'm also going to zoom the camera in all the way just to see if that... I have no idea if that's going to have any effect. I'm just going to do it. Fewer things on screen, right? Okay, we didn't crash. We're gonna have to count that as a blessing for the moment. I mean, given that the game client didn't last a single day when I was on earlier and the crash happened, that's what we're gonna have to, that's what we're currently at. Okay, so if that was my first sleep, I've thrown my sleep schedule off a little bit, and I'm gonna have to basically just screw around for at least 5 fatigue here until I can sleep again. Otherwise, I'll get really tired in the early evening, and I don't want that to happen. Just the weird things you gotta think about when you're a restless sleeper. It's worth the points, though. You gotta think of fatigue as a resource, like everything else. Oh, you can get me. Not very ambitious, are you? You didn't even try the lunge. See, she tried the lunge and she never even had a chance. What about you? You're gonna do the fence thing, aren't you? You're gonna walk along it. And you're gonna spill over at a random point. There you go. See, she didn't even try it. Lack of ambition, I tell you. Lack of ambition. Y'all just spill on over, would you? Now that's more like it. They're gonna do it. Nope. It's so hard to predict sometimes, by design, probably. It's probably like a certain set of circumstances, not just whether they're in range or not. This guy is annoying me. Sitting there making noises without getting up. Clearing neighborhoods is always harder after a few months because you got all these stupid extra trees blocking your line of sight. These yards were not full of trees in the slightest just a couple of months ago. This game is very realistic, you know? Weapon holding up. Ooh, it is worn. Hasn't been repaired yet, though. It'll last another point of condition damage, probably. One to the north. No gauge on speed. Right? One to the north? Am I going insane? Maybe I'm going insane. Never walk too close to the walls when you're doing this. Shambler in the trees. Everybody's wearing a dress. This is why we don't hug the walls. Did not see that guy until he was right around that corner. It's tempting to hug the walls because your reflexes tell you that's one less angle of approach to worry about. Until they come right around the corner. Okay, I can't afford to just let all these wonderful skirts just go to waste. That's a lot of tailoring experience right there. We'll just dump these around the corner. Didn't you have one as well? There it is. This house had a big birthday party in it. I counted at least a dozen Zeds with hats. Guess they partied a little too hard. Alright, so we're gonna have a break from the rain pretty soon here. Can't hurt to gather a few door parts while I'm here. Ooh, dumbbell. Okay, there's the break from the rain. Came a little earlier than I thought it would, but this is our opportunity to put down some feeding troughs so the animals don't starve. See, before I even knew about the crash, I was fighting a completely separate problem with the rain, which is the fact that the moment you put down any sort of feeding trough, even if there's a very light sprinkle, it starts filling up with water, which means you can't put food in it, which means my animal zones that I went through all the effort of loading up with animals don't currently have any feeding troughs with food in them, or at least one of them doesn't, because of this silly rain bug, and it just did not stop raining for a couple days. Or the brief moments where it stopped raining, I didn't move fast enough. Like, I might not now. It might start raining again by the time I get up there. We don't know yet. And I see all these buckets on the ground. All these buckets, it's all free water that makes it easier to keep your crops irrigated and everything. It really sucks that I have to reconsider leaving those out. But okay, what are we doing now? We are dropping these. I didn't even mean to bring them. That's it. The troughs. I put them in the fridge because I'm a silly goober. 2, 1. Okay, go, 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 go. Gotta get him down before it starts raining again. Move, Bessie, move. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Okay, the animals have feed bags again. These particular animals I no longer have to worry about. Reorder those. One of the things is, normally I would just take these feeding troughs and just fill them to the brim with grass cuttings, because that's the most time-efficient thing to do. But I've recently discovered that if you let an animal completely finish off a bag of animal feed, you get a free sack out of the deal. And I like sacks. Sacks are a resource that I can never get enough of. Therefore, I'm having these guys do nothing but eat animal feed bags. I need some planks to get these guys more trough. It's just a bunch of leather. See, these things right here that are in my bag, these little green cups, those are fountain cups. They weigh 0.1, in, their dry weight is 0.1, and they have 300 milliliters of water storage in them, which you fill that up with milk, and that's basically refilling your hunger bar. So every time you get hungry, you drink those. Very valuable resource to me. And the crash is basically deleted those, so. I was looking for some planks I had left out, but they are not out here. So we're just going back now. So as my understanding is, it doesn't cause problems to have the water containers filling up on screen during the day. Another thing is they're already full. I mean, everything that I have out right now is full. It's been raining for days. If I put the containers in containers, then they aren't trying to fill up anymore. That might fix the problem. Where is my... Aha! My crate van. My van with nothing but crates in it from Electromax. Was not expecting to need to use it for this, but I'll use it for that. We're just going to put down some crates that are going to be exclusively used for buckets, so that we have fewer things filling up. Also, okay, I also just had another idea. If we just quit the game back to main menu, not quit the game all the way, don't like close the game, just go back to the main menu, then you can reload the save. The save dump will finish completely. It'll be a healthy save dump, but you can also reload the game much faster that way. So if we just remember to, before we go to sleep, go back to the main menu, then reopen the game and sleep, that also might preempt the problem. Might. If it works, I will post about that in the Steam forum. Where else do we put water? Just more crates, I guess. I got plenty of them, and there's about 200 more back at the warehouse. I'll just put these straight into where I was intending to put them, in the charcoal grill over here. For anyone else joining us, what we're currently trying to do is mitigate a glitch that is causing game crashes, apparently because there are too many buckets on screen getting filled up with rainwater. Or not just buckets, but anything that can get filled up with rainwater, which there's a lot. So what I'm doing is just putting everything that I can find into a container so that it's no longer getting filled up. See if that mitigates the problem. These buckets on the table already have plaster in them. Or not plaster, that's clay cement. These buckets here can just go right into the pottery, because that's what I'm going to use them for, is pottery. So they're technically a pottery material. And that's everything inside, I believe, yeah. Nothing else inside is going to get filled up with rainwater. The buckets over here in front of the trough. Gonna have to pick these up. I'll whip out the military backpacks for this. At least 6 over here, I think. Yeah. Which, what a coincidence, I can carry exactly 6. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll raw dog the last one. I think that's everything over here. Now, of course, to deal with the buckets, I have 2 for each row of crops. I have a lot of buckets, what can I say? That's why the game crashed so fast for me. Ay, Dios míos. Maybe if I just put a, I'll just put a crate at the end of each row of crops. That can't hurt too much. Of course, I could just fill the buckets up from the river, but that takes time. Time is a resource you don't want to always expend if you don't have to. So I just let the water fill up from the rain. If only that wasn't causing me to crash. Alright, we got 4 and 4. It's actually safe to step on your crops. I've just conditioned myself not to. Like, you can just run over your own crops and it doesn't cause any problems. I don't know when I got it stuck in my head that it would cause problems, but it's a persistent personal myth. Now, will something else kill these crops? Most likely. I still don't understand the cursed crop system. That's right, there's a possibility of crops getting cursed. I have no idea what causes it. I heard people posting on the forums about full moons and water absorption being better during the new moon. Can you imagine having to keep track of the moon cycles just to know when to plant a crop? It's like the devs are trying to outdo Farmville. Unbelievable. Okay, we are full over here. I'm gonna just start collecting before I put down more bucket, or more crate. See, I guess even with the glitch, we can still work with it. We just leave the buckets out during the day while it's raining and put them in containers if it's raining at night. We'll see if that's how it actually works. Oops. Into the box. Alright, the rest go on the other side. I had to make all of these carved buckets in order to level my carving so that I could make short bats. Never would have expected my attempt to make use of them to bite me or turn around and bite me like that. But, yeah, it's unstable life for you. And exactly 6 more. That's a good number. 3 on each side. I can deal with that. It's symmetrical. Oh dear. I can't pick up the last one because it's too big for my inventory. Perfect. That's all of the buckets accounted for. That I can think of at any rate. This empty backpack sprayer here is, doesn't actually collect water, it just gets wet. A polymer backpack sprayer just gets wet. That's Zomboid for you right there. Can't think of anything else other than these two animal troughs right here. And there's nothing I can do about those. I need those. In fact, I was going to get the other one emptied of the food so that they can actually drink out of that. Because the river tile drinking mechanic doesn't actually work properly yet. Animals will still sometimes get dehydrated even if they're surrounded by river tiles. It's as silly as it sounds. Backpack sprayer, go here. How about here? That works. Before all this, I was actually trying to put on weight. I've burned way too much calories in the past 24 hours. Alright, I can stop spidering the military backpacks. We're done with that for the moment. I'm going to do an engine check. Lot for the non-primary vehicles. Let's go take a look around the gas station because that's a place where I could have left a bunch of other things sitting around. What have we got over here? Could be some trash. Yeah, look at that. There's some over here. Just pick the rest of this up for the sake of it. Now, here's a thing that could be really exacerbating things. If the problem is not whether the item is out or just the item exists. If the problem is that the item exists that has the potential to collect rainwater but isn't, then there's no fixing this, because I have so many things all over the place. Just hoping that's not the case. This is almost a trash can I'm using right here, because everything in it is duplicates of stuff. Put the sacks away. The rest of that is fine. Okay, I'm going to declare the glitch mitigation process complete. That's all of the things that I can think of that I intentionally left out to collect rainwater. And we also have another method of potentially mitigating the crash by... We're just going to... Because, I mean, okay, so the crash occurs when you sleep, right? We're just going to go to the main menu before we sleep. That's going to dump the save file to the disk, and then reload the game. And if it crashes, we've lost nothing at that point. Need to go to sack storage. Sack storage is in the logging / gravel getting vehicle. Now, I do have a bunch of carpet set aside for when I finally have a roof up and I can put something nice down other than just those ugly floors. So just a bunch of other stuff I found out in the field. Track of it. Dumbbell. Just an exercise utility. I need to put that somewhere accessible. Seeds. That's what I came over here for. Still looking at the wrong bag. Alright. Animal husbandry tools. Probably gonna need a crate for that. I'm using benches as a gate. It's the stupidest thing I've thought of in a long time. Like, I don't have a lot of hinges to work with, right? So instead of trying to scrounge for more hinges and build a gate, I'm just taking this park bench and just rotating it, because you can rotate it freely. You don't have to waste any time doing anything else, and it completely blocks all movement except for zombies when they smack it. So that's just a very ghetto way of locking the animals in. That way they won't bolt. Just sorting this so they eat from the one that's almost empty first. Alright, so that takes care of that. Do I have any sheep that need shearing? When you shear your sheep, you get wool. When you have wool, you can either make it into yarn or thread. All you need is a spinning wheel. That was hardly anything. I think I just hit the Rambo here. Ramblier, yeah. She has just been sheared. I don't think the Suffolks up there are gonna have much for me. Suffolks, the black sheep with the white wool, they don't have any. Oh shit. Okay. So you all just witnessed firsthand what happens when you yell. The animals who trust you will come to you, and the animals who don't trust you will try to run away from you. It's kind of hard to see which is which, but you saw how some of the cows tried to get to me, and how some of the rest of these are just running away from me. Fun fact, all you gotta do is just kind of hang out around the animals. You hang out around them long enough, and they'll eventually trust you to the point where they don't run away when you yell, and in fact will come to you. That one right there, I think she's still stressed. That's probably why she was running longer than the others. When an animal is stressed, you give her some pets. And I am now checking for wool. M1, you have a little bit for me. Okay. See, absolutely nothing compared to a Ramblier. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Ramblier. It's a French word. I don't do French, but they give like almost 24 wool when they have a full coat. Combine that with these skirts, and I've got my foot in the door for tailoring. This might actually be enough. It'll definitely get me level 1. Question is, how far into level 2 will it get me? Let's get those scissors and find out. So tailoring is a easy or hard thing, depending on the resources available to you. If you got a book, and you got a whole bunch of zombies that you can disrobe for their skirts, their jeans, and stuff like that, then tailoring is easy pie. Easy pie. Just read the book and carry around something to disassemble with. I think safety scissors work. Let's double check that. Shorten skirt. Yes, it does. Okay, safety scissors can be used for some tailoring recipes and not others. So it's best to use them whenever you can. Save your good scissors. Look at that. Instant. I love it. We're now tailoring 1, and that's going to get yeah, we're not going to get very far into level 2. So we'd have to do that probably 80 or so times. Good thing is you can do it to the same skirt multiple times. You're basically doing that cinema trope where you rip a lower part of the skirt to get a rag from it. And you keep doing that until it goes from a long skirt all the way down to a mini skirt. See, now I got 3 mini skirts. I can, they're not really useful to me anymore, but I can still rip them up for cloth. I want to rip up my own hoodie there. This will be my unofficial tailoring bin for the moment. Just needed somewhere to put these shears and wool and stuff. We'll come back to that when we have more materials for it. Wouldn't be the worst opportunity to get a spinning wheel, because I also need a sharpening wheel as well. So that's actually not a bad thing to do for the moment, because that will get us more infrastructure for the base. Just got to get some tools out of my inventory, because you need a lot of inventory space in order to pick up a large stone. Weighs 40 encumbrance, and the max for your inventory is 50. So I gotta ditch some of this stuff. And still one more thing. Alright, I'll ditch my weapon. Okay, I'm down to 9, so I can pick up a large stone now. If I wanted to make a spinning wheel and a sharpening wheel, I believe I would need 3 large stones. Reason being, you use masonry to turn a large stone into either 2 small wheels or 1 large wheel. And I think I need 2 of each for this project. So I'm just going to go collect 3 large stones and see how far that gets me. I'm actually going to put them inside next to my duffel bag full of tools, which also has my masonry tools in it. Fun fact, when you equip something like this in your hands, and you become heavily over-encumbered, and you run around, all you got to do is run around while heavily over-encumbered, and you get strength experience passively. So just running around all day collecting large stones like this, that's almost on par with doing an all-day workout with a barbell. Just in terms of return on investment for time spent. Except this does not cause muscle strain, while the exercise system causes random muscle strain that hits you later in the day like a brick. That's why I don't usually use the exercise system. The routines are very annoying to establish and maintain. Alright, we now have 3 large stones. I require 2 large stone wheels here. Just gonna sit on the ground and craft these bad boys. And I require 2 small stone wheels, which you get from just 1. So we got 2 and 2. What are the other materials we need? I'm an absolute doofus. We don't even need a wheel to make a spinning wheel. I must have conflated that with something else. Ah! But we do need a wheel for a sharpening wheel, so... sorry, it's a grindstone. That's what I'm thinking of. Grindstone. And that, we just need a single large stone wheel. The thing for the the small wheels that I was thinking of, that must be the, the quern, or the stone mill. Probably both. In that case, we just need 4 planks, 4 nails. This is one of those things that can be moved around after you put it down, so it isn't that big of a deal to put it down somewhere that, won't be permanent. tree that I cut down up here? There it is. 3 logs. 1 large branch. And another log for good measure. Let's transport all those. So 1 log, 1 large branch, that's 4 planks. Bring them over here, we make our spinning wheel. Or no, grindstone rather. Silliest craft animation. So this just basically allows you to sharpen blades 10 times faster than you would before with a whetstone. It was 3 long sticks that I needed for the other part. Okay. So what I'm going to do is get myself situated to sleep. And then, like I was saying before, I'm going to quit the main menu and then come back. Alright, there we go. So, here goes nothing. I'm going to park my character right here next to the sleeping spot. And we're just going to quit to main menu. And what this does is it causes the save to dump to disk, meaning none of the problems I had before with duplicated or missing items will happen. So now we just hit continue again, and because we never quit the game, the save loads very fast, especially for somebody with a solid state. So we hardly lost any time. Now if we sleep and we crash, we lose nothing. And we didn't crash. Fantastic. I did forget to sleep with my jacket on, so I'm freezing cold, but that's alright. We just put on the hoodie and the leather jacket. If this trick that I just did serves me well for the next 2 sleeps, then I'll post about it in the Steam discussion forum and see if that helps anyone else out. What do I need? I need my book from the trunk. We're just going to sit here and read a book for the next couple of hours. Usual circadian rhythm of somebody with a... Hold the phone. Am I going insane? I thought for a second I saw blood up there. But no, the animals are not killing each other right now. It's always possible that the animals could start killing each other if certain situations crop up. Particularly 2 adult males. 2 adult males of pretty much any mammal type will just kill each other. It's like rebellious youth, only taken to the extreme. Black band for the books. And we're reading nothing else good. We'll just read first aid next. Alright, I do want to see if picking up all of the water containers helped me fix the issue. So I am going to go ahead and sleep without backing up the save because nothing has changed at the moment. Or no, okay, so I did take a book out and put it back. So if the game crashed now, I would lose one of my books, so I'm not going to do that. I will just do what I did before. It's silly, but it works. Okay, I still got cold. That's good to know. So a leather jacket and a hoodie is actually not enough to sleep outside when the winter months get around. Maybe I have some long johns somewhere. Well, Hawaiian shirt, that's not much, though. Hawaiian shirts are on, like, a special layer, so you can actually wear them in addition to almost everything else that you would wear. So, like, all the clothes that I currently have on, I still have room to put on a Hawaiian shirt, so it's a little bit extra insulation. And I do believe that a military jacket. Let's compare insulation. Oh yeah, okay. So military officer jacket has the same protection as a leather jacket, but much better insulation. That's good to know. A military officer jacket is actually really hard to find. I only have one because of my raid of the Brandenburg military checkpoint. It's a nice match, though. I like it. Glad I got my hands on it. I do certainly hope the rain lets up, because all I really have to do right now in terms of base maintenance is to situate the water troughs over there in the second animal field, and then put down a couple more feeding troughs, and they will be set for life as well. I don't think there's any clothes or armor that I can make at Tailoring 1 that I actually really care about. Looking through some hide stuff. There's a neck guard, but that only uses regular cloth. Can I do I don't have any of these recipes. I cannot yet do a bone choker. Bone choker would be very nice because that gives you 100% neck protection at the cost of significant discomfort, but it's a good combat item to have because there's very few things that provide good neck protection. Also, there's not very many good options for head protection either that don't come at a commensurate cost of comfort. But that's by design. The devs don't like it when you can be comfortable and protected. It's basically a constant struggle for the end game of this, to find a way to be both comfortable and well protected. So the military helmet here has got both good insulation and good protection, but my character will start getting depressed from discomfort if I were to wear it for too long. It also comes with a little bit of vision impairment. What vision impairment as a stat does is it reduces your vision cone ever so slightly from what it would be without it. So basically I don't think I can ever really compromise on that. Vision cone is just so important to me. Being able to see that zombie that's coming in from the edge of my view cone here. Don't think I could ever trade that off. I hate it when it sounds like the rain is about to stop, and then it doesn't. That's just that's my life right now. We're just gonna do a regular patrol of Riverside. Take care of the respawns before they become a problem. This will probably be the 5th time I've cleared the main road area here. But that's alright. So I'm actually a doofus. I didn't bring my weapons. actual doofus moment. I mean, I have my hammer and I have backup weapons in my Alice pack, but that's just no. I'm not doing that. Got a car right there. I'll turn around, get some more weapon. I also am curious to see exactly how long I can last in this this current gear setup that I'm in before I get unpleasantly hot. At what body heat generation level must I switch off? Just take the whole ass ambulance with us. Why not? Looks like there's plenty of zombies to kill anyway. I always think of my ambulances as combat vehicles, because they got plenty of storage room, they can tow all right, and the engine is powerful, pretty powerful for off-roading. Only level 3 axe, and I'm already getting them 12 times crits. Beautiful. Oh, that's the biggest problem with axes. You miss a single swing, it is a hell of a lot more costly than a weapon that hits faster. The crafted armors, there's a couple of them that I actually find like objectively good. Almost all the other ones are objectively inferior to just having the correct number of layers with level 10 tailoring leather padding on it, which is exactly what the meta was in Build 41. And, you know, Build 42 introduced armor as a mechanic, but then they immediately turned around and nerfed it by adding discomfort as a mechanic. Because remember, we're not allowed to have nice things. If the devs want to add something cool to the game, it's got to come at a commensurate cost of something, whatever that is. Speaking of good armor, I actually just found one of the, in my opinion, best headgears in the game, which is just a basic bicycle helmet. The riding helmet comes at only a cost of discomfort, and yet it gives you a 40% bite and 60% scratch to the head, which is some of the best you'll ever get without a vision or hearing impairment. Vision and hearing impairment was not a problem in Build 41 that I recall, but it has been a long time, so... This is a salvaged ambulance. I've been able to repair almost everything to, like, tip-top pristine shape, with the notable exception of the light bar. Build 42 has actually made it possible to repair light bars, but it's really, really silly in its current iteration. The only way to repair light bars is to find one out in the world as loot. You can't make one, not possible. And you have to take it from wherever you find it, which maybe a police station or a fire station. You have to use the whole ass light bar as a resource to repair the light bar with. It's so silly. It's so silly. Like, just let us swap them out and replace them. Better yet, give electrical a little bit of love and let us make our own at high-level electrical. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Electrical has been very neglected lately, in my opinion. All we got are those traps. I want to say that the higher mechanic skill you have, the more percentage you'll get whenever you try to repair a light bar with another light bar. If that's how it works, then, well, I've got no incentive to actually try to repair a light bar until I'm Mechanics 10. It's silly, but that's what we got to work with right now. Oh, look at that, I'm all out of fountain cups of milk. Looks like we're going to get some more milk. And it looks like I finally got hot. Okay, good to know. What is the temperature outside? It is 42. That's surprisingly good. Like, I was expecting to get hot a lot sooner in this getup. So we'll just pop off the hoodie for now. See how long that helps us. Well, Holstein cows, I come for milk. F3, would you like to give me some milk? Just nudge the other one out of the way. And as fate would have it, I also need to continue putting on weight. So I'm probably going to do the standard I've played way too much Zomboid routine of making myself a stick of butter and just eating the whole damn thing. I find it so unbelievably ridiculous that that is still the most time and resource efficient thing to do. In order to do the best, what I want to do is get the fountain cups out of my inventory. And just grab myself another dispenser bottle full of cow's milk. Dispenser bottle is 15 liters. That'll give us 3 sticks of butter. 1, 2, and 3. Bottoms up. Now the great thing about that is, eating a stick of butter removes 20 happies from your happy meter. So in order to get 20 happies back on your meter, all you gotta do is pet an animal. Look at that, my happies went straight back up. I got all the happies now. We're ready to go cut up some more zombie. From a calorie perspective, I actually do need to eat a second stick of butter, but I can afford to wait for a little bit for that. I made a post on Steam a little ways back of seen the wet moodle. Yes, okay, so the wet moodle is a thing when it gets to red, like a deep red as opposed to the light maroon that you're looking at right now in the top right, when it gets to basically that's stage 2 wetness. When you get to that point, I think you have an extremely low chance, but not zero chance, of catching a cold. You get to the stage 3 wet debuff, and you get a much more significant chance of catching a cold. Cold just basically makes it so you cough and sneeze all the, you know, it's just like a cold in real life. Makes you cough and sneeze all the time. You can hold the tissue in your offhand to get rid of it. But yeah, basically, if I'm wet and it's stage 2 wetness, that's when I'll usually stop whatever is making me wet. You know, spending a lot of time outside while it's hot and sweating, or going too hard out in the rain, for example. I don't think there's anything else that'll ever get you to stage 2 wet. And you have to work really hard to get the stage too wet from sweating. Usually that's just a I've been out in the rain too long problem. This guy has a black apron, but it has 2 holes in it. It's got to be the 8th apron I've found with 2 holes in it. Intact aprons are a great platform to adding to because they have no insulation cost, and they are a coat layer. So during the summer you can wear them without any problem and still get all those slots filled up with padding protection from tailoring. Look at that. I'm getting hot again. That is going to be the jacket. Sag. It could also be the neck. I'm actually going to check. Oh yeah, the neck is definitely affecting it. Usually like holding onto the shemagh because you can always turn it into a face covering. That ought to do it though. Hug the doors, don't hug the doors. Hello there. Excuse me, ma'am. Large knife? That's a bread knife. I hate it when they look so much bigger. Outside, downstairs, inside. That's in the back room. Nope. I don't really care about them if they're inside those buildings. I've got other things to worry about. It's the foot mobile ones that are outside that cause problems for me here. Particularly in the hotel area, because I like to be able to sleep here when I need to. South. Slow shambi. Pretty blue. Oh man, I never did clear out the boat club here, did I? Alas. I left the van running because I thought I wouldn't be over here long. I always come to this place whenever I want to get a bar for my base. Just plenty of booze in there, all kinds of fun stuff. Where can I get a drink right now? I'm just looking for water. Just pop inside the Starbucks over here. I don't care what anyone says, it's a Starbucks. Always on the lookout for more door parts. Much longer, and I won't have to worry about making those gates. Surprisingly empty, this parking lot. I usually see a little bit more vehicle in it. Let's get the van moved. It could be anywhere. This Dottie for Donuts place is special to me specifically because I really like the red tile floors in there. It goes great with the red theme that I want to go with my kitchen for eventually. That said, I also need a crowbar and a lot more trunk room to actually get started with that. If you didn't catch that, what happened was my axe broke, and I just immediately switched to the one that's on my back. So you see, if it breaks, and you're just holding this, which is short blunt, which I'm good at, but it doesn't get you any XP, all you gotta do is just switch right over to the axe. By the power of nimble. Or dexterous, rather. Oops, that's not gonna work. Another axe. I actually don't have another axe. I'll just switch to a hatchet. See, this is where axes actually tend not to shine as well. That's when you're dealing with multiple zombies that are fast shamblers at the same time. At least not until your high-level axe, you can swing much faster. Trying to do that with low-level axe is a very bad idea to get you killed. If you're leveling with these two-handers, you gotta have maximal population control. Make sure they come at you one at a time, and if they don't, make them. Oh, I'm hungry. That'll do it. Tell me I put the... I am such a silly doofus. I went through all the effort of going back to my base to replenish my cow milk supply. And then I put it in the fridge to make some butter. And completely forgot about it. It's alright, I still got butter. I actually need to eat it anyway. It's just a silly, silly, silly doof. I just had the fatigue hit me as well. Golf cap. Alright, we're out of here. There's no point in trying to level your axe skill if you've got fatigue. Cuts your damage in straight in half. That said, I will have a clean main road. I will have neither corpses nor moving corpses in my road. The hell? Somebody stuck an umbrella in this dude. Guess that's what we get for hogging all the rain. Yeah, from a distance, at a glance, I too have trouble with them sometimes. The lightest shade of blue up there is fatigue, And the darkest shade is the sadness. And the one that's got a little bit more green in it, makes it more cyan, that is discomfort. A little bit too much thinking in terms of additive color theory on my part. So, it's a lot of zombies right next to my base here. It's these trees right here. I hate these trees. They exist solely to block my line of sight, so I can't see how many zombies are having a little congregation out in the field there. Those are great, buddy. I'll leave that for later. Every time you disrobe a zombie piece of clothing, your character loses just a little bit of happies. So my happies have been reduced not just by butter, but also by disrobing the dead. That's alright. Having animals is basically just an infinite supply of happies. I shut the engine off. Yes, okay. I always second guess myself on that now because engines, at least they feel really, really quiet to me. I can never tell if an engine is still running or not once I'm out of the car. Three happies acquired. Went from 60 down to 90. That was 30 happies right there. Alright, milk reacquired. It's a little early to sleep, but the rain is finally let up, so I can do a little bit of base fixer-upper here. That van is now exclusively combat. Let's sort the rest of my tools elsewhere. Flooring. Etc. And some water storage over here. Making progress on cleaning up the courtyard there. That's something I need, a trash can. So, in terms of trash cans, default vanilla Apocalypse allows you to delete items that you put into trash cans. But what trash cans are the biggest? You're not going to believe this, but the tall orange trash cans from Spiffos are the largest trash cans in the game by an order of magnitude. They're even bigger than the dumpsters. Because the dumpsters are only, assuming you have organized, they're only like 36 per tile, and you have to have 2 tiles. Meanwhile, the Spiffo large trash cans are from inside the place. Are 65 for somebody with organized. great place to put stuff that you're not sure if you need to delete. Hell, I think I can smelt that. And they only weigh 10 encumbrance, which is pretty small. Cans over here next to the edge. Now I got a place to put all these broken things. I don't know where that intact one is doing over here. Intact one goes in there. Brokens go in here. I don't delete them right away because if I ever need firewood, I can always pull them out of there. Thankfully, you can use broken things as firewood, as long as they are appropriate, like a wooden handle. Almost broken file goes into the smelting bin here. Now we're ready to sleep, so anybody who's just joining us, whenever we sleep now, to preempt a glitch that is causing people to crash, what we do is we just quit to the main menu, which dumps the save to the disk. So if the game does crash, we lose nothing. Thankfully, it's a pretty quick process to quit to the main menu and reload the game. So by doing that, we lose nothing when we sleep, if we crash. And I'm going to do my midnight reading here. While I'm doing that, I'm going to do the other folks suffering from this glitch a favor and post about that on Steam. Alright, we sit in the spiffle van and we whip out the book. Now I alt-tab. Where'd Steam go? There you are. Ah, okay, Beard did get back to me. We are unable to reproduce it at the moment. Do you have any specific steps on how to reproduce the issue? Well, I will check my crash logs here to see if there's anything that sticks out to me. I don't think there's gonna be, but I'll do them the favor of that. So you go to your user folder, you go to Zomboid, you go to logs. And then the one that's most recent is your debug log here. Delete. That's not it. I'm looking for the one just prior to my last crash, which is going to be from today. And this is probably going to be it here, 6:09 p.m. That's back when I started the stream. Wait, no, that can't be it because that shows a quit to desktop. It should be just a cutoff. Okay, so here we go. I'll get this guy my debug log. Drive. I would normally I'd pause a recording if I was doing stuff like this, but honestly this is all part of the testing process, so it's technically relevant. I know it's not very interesting, but I'll be done with this not too long from now. Just want to share this so that anybody with the link can view it, and copy the link. Test it on my VPN so that I can make sure that other people who are not me can view it. Beautiful. I lose the link, I lost the link. Hit Control-C too much. Alright, so I'm basically just giving in this post, I'm just giving a verbal description of a few specifics to the crash, and also posting my debug log that I just looked at for Mr. Beard there. Now, I really do certainly hope that Beard does not look at my save log and immediately see that I'm loading a couple of UI mods and just be like, well, this is entirely useless. Because he's done that before. I've done a bug report for these people before. They've seen that I'm using a couple of UI mods, and they've been like, well, we can't do anything with this now. I generally understand that approach, but when there's a bunch of people telling you that they're getting the same problem without mods, I think you can put a little, moratorium on pointing the finger at mods. I don't know. This is why I don't actually do bug reports very often, but in this particular case, I'll make an exception. Alright, look at that. We're in good position right now. We are in a pretty good position, and I think the rain is finally done, so I can straighten out the rest of these animal feeders to make sure the animals are pretty much set for life. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 3 So I generally like to use short wooden feeding troughs for food, especially on the current build, because for some reason the current build has made it so that your larger feeding troughs, pretty much all of them, every single large feeding trough option, like the small metal ones and the large metal ones, they all only have 65 encumbrance for somebody with organized. So like this thing here that's taking up 3 tiles, it only has 65 encumbrance, which is the exact same as a small one. So it's like, you know, why would I waste 3 tiles on something that I can just have on 1 tile? It really doesn't make any sense from a spatial perspective. That being said, the water storage amounts are commensurate, so the fact that it has 150 liters is pretty much on par with the small ones, because the small ones have 50 liters each. So, you know, 3 tiles, 250 versus 3 tiles of 50. It tracks. And I was gonna put another small metal there. That means I can spend the rest of my current resources on fencing. 2, 4, 6. So they've got more than they'll ever need over here. Just go ahead and drop these planks. I don't need to carry them around. These ones get the extra bags because there's more over here. Alright, these animals have enough food and water for many months now. So really the only thing that I need to care about over there is getting them proper fencing, which is a fashion statement at this point, not a functional thing. Beard replied surprisingly fast to my previous post, so I will, I'll refresh the page a little bit, see if they're still active. And with that all cleaned up, I think it's time for a little bit more killing. Feels great to finally be free to go do some proper zomboiding here, as opposed to the Farmville simulator that has crept into the game. I don't dislike it, but man, is it, sometimes it can be pretty time-consuming. Especially when I'd rather go out and just do some killing. Proper balance for all things. I'm gonna toot. Yeah, I'm gonna toot right here. Because I'm so tired of them just slowly creeping out of those woods. I want them all to come out. So when I go back there, there's just gonna be a ton of them from... or at least, you know, whatever was out there is going to be out of there. Here I have no need to toot. They will come to me. Just by dint of the van idling. I should probably put my weapons back on. It's the second time I've done that. Hello. There are more of them around me than I thought there were. Let's go, boys. Clear angle of approach, I think. still don't care for this situation very much. Those trees behind me are not helping. Ooh, that was a large knife. Very nice. It's also a pretty lilac right there. Thank you, ma'am. This door is freaking me out a little bit because there should be a zombie there, but I still can't see it. Yeah, like a head-on angle just to see a zombie through a door. Handsome door. One thing I find great about the axe. If I need to, I can bust down the door a lot safer than I could with a one-handed. What I'm doing is there we go, there it is. That's the splintering sound, you hear that? The splintering sound means the door's about to break. Beautiful. Much safer than trying to use short blunt to open a door while a zombie's thumping it. Just about to get exerted, too. Steel bar stuck in that guy. Goes into the smelt bin. Speaking of bins, honestly, another thing I've been putting off for a little while is getting my base storage finally up and running. If anyone watching was here earlier, you would have seen that I have a entire van filled with nothing but wooden crates ready to be deployed. I just haven't put them down yet because I've been procrastinating. Because it's a lot of tedious work to finally get everything organized. But once I do have it organized, it will be a lot easier to get things looted. Because everything will have a destination. So look at this. Even after honking the horn, still these assholes are hanging out in the trees. So vulnerable when I'm surrounded by trees like that. Alternatively, I could just kind of... Yeah, see, look at this. If I kind of mosey in around between the trees, I can pull them out, but I shouldn't have to do that. Let me honk the horn a few times. Or, you know, better yet, don't make it so that trees block your line of sight so perfectly. Trees should be like an inconsistent line of sight blockage. You know, you should see like, I don't know, a limb or something like that. Not the whole zombie, just like, you should see outlines of movement. It should not be 100% visual blockage. Because that's just not how trees work, especially not once they've started losing their leaves. Do not get me started on the fact that trees like this one here, with no leaves on it at all, can still perfectly block anything behind it. That needs to be fixed yesterday, in my opinion. Alright, let's see about getting this storage system fixed up. One of the reasons I felt compelled to do this now is because I had a lot of loot instincts that I was fighting while I was out there killing zombies. And if I had to keep fighting them, it would just get more and more miserable. So the smart thing would be to just get all that sorted out now, so that I don't have to worry about looting things. I can just loot things freely, as God intended. There's a lead there. I think I won't need this third stick of butter, so I'll just put it in the fridge for now. And this empty bottle. Alright, that's my own inventory cleared out. Now I just got to get some of them good old crates put down. And the great part about being able to drive around my base is taking one of these vans and just parking it like right around back next to the back door, which is the wall that's going to receive all of my crates. Alright, so the first 6 crates are mostly building materials. That's when we switch to tool/weapons, and then tools. And then we go into materials. I have like a really absurdly specific storage system. It basically just involves memorizing from left to right what goes in what crate. What I'm going to do next is clear out the inventory of one of my step vans so that I can take the entire step van, just completely empty, down to Electromax and fill it with nothing but crates. I think this red one is my least occupied among the inventories. So we'll use this one here. This red one I was largely using just to store crap in between repairing vehicles. More than enough room for that. I can now fit 204 encumbrance into the trunk of this red one. Beautiful, beautiful vehicle. One that I'm being very careful with, never to take around zombies that could ever tap it from the front or the side. Very important fact of vehicles is if you bump into a zombie with the side or the back of the vehicle, you start losing trunk space. So for your vehicles that you want to have a lot of storage in, you can't afford to be ramming zombies with them, because eventually one's going to tap the side, and that's going to make your vehicle be a lot less fun. Oh, you know what? I do still have a few more animals I haven't kept track of. I have a bunch of chickens down at the warehouse that I didn't forget about them. I've basically set them up for life. If you give like anything less than a dozen chickens and you give them a trough full of nothing but water and nothing but food, they're basically set for life. Like, they just eat so little that they are you're never gonna have to worry about them again, realistically speaking. Ha! Gas can. Now this vehicle is completely set. It's been a long week for my voice box. I was, my day job is IT, so I have a lot of training to do whenever I bring a new guy on board. We had 2 new guys, so I just spent all morning verbally telling them how things work. Now I'm spending the afternoon stream. So, burning it from both angles here. Yeah, I'm not fighting my way through that. Not again. Not for just a couple of troughs. Not yet. That's why I moved the animals out of the farm area there. The stupid respawns were really getting on my nerves. Now I have no need to deal with them. Electromax is my only concern in this region, though. This lovely, lovely place with more crafting or more building supplies than any carpenter would ever want to worry about. The chickens have laid plenty of eggs for me too. Alright, I used those boxes in the middle to store other boxes. So this little row of boxes here, basically just nothing but boxes that I picked up off the ground. So now that I need boxes, all I gotta do is pull them out of there and put them in here. I am zooming all the way in and keeping my ears peeled for any potential zombie noises. Also watching the chickens, because if a zombie comes, the chickens will go nuts. It's almost everything over here. Actual boxes themselves. Oops. Not there, but here. Can I fit one more? I think I can, yeah. So that is 27 crates in the back of the vehicle. Now I can pick up a few more. Put a couple into the passenger seat. One for the glove compartment because heavy-duty vehicles can fit a frickin' crate in them. One of my strategies for looting these huge warehouses is to make it so much easier on myself to sort the loot, or to, you know, just to see what I have by just dropping everything on the floor and then picking up the crates so they're out of the way, shoving them into other crates. Now I hand carry whatever's left. That's pretty much a ratio of 4 crates per military backpack. This is probably going to be way more crates than I actually need, but surprisingly, all I got to do is drop them outside and I will eventually find a use for them, because crates are... once you've gotten to a certain point in this game, crates are just nectar of the gods. Sorting all of your random various stuff you'll come home with. Okay, I'm now carrying 12 plus 3, 15 crates on my person, and another 30-something in the van. That's coming away with almost 50 crates here. What I usually do when I'm setting up a base is I'll reference screenshots of my previous base. My previous base... library... This is the interior of my previous base. You can see the back wall is basically just 100% lined with crates. So that's one of our first goals. We're just going to line the back wall with nothing but crates. But beyond that, outside of the base, you can see down there at the bottom of the map there's a whole bunch of... just a whole row of crates outside. Most of those are tailoring supplies and bones, because after a long period of time you'll have harvested enough animals, killed them and butchered them, and acquired bones, and bones are really bulky. So I spent, like, I don't know, almost a dozen crates just on bones by the time I finished my 42.7 run. Bones are useful. Their usefulness kind of drops off after the first year, but they're really good for tailoring, getting your tailoring leveled up. I never did find tailoring 5 in my previous run, so I actually kind of plateaued on tailoring and didn't really get past it. It was in the cards to go to Louisville eventually in my previous run, but I'm the kind of guy who doesn't go to Louisville until he's maxed several of his skills. Probably should bring that around back. So if you guys are ever interested in seeing me do Louisville, it'll probably be several weeks from now, if ever. Because that's not something I really do until I've... I can't believe I just did that. So, pro tip. If you so much as scrape the edge of the water, it's treated as if you're hitting a steel wall. Gotta be very careful with this roundabout here. Very, very careful. Luckily, that was the front, so I did not lose any trunk space, so this van is still very useful to me. Probably also, that probably happened because I'm getting a little tired. You can't already hear it, it has been quite a day for me. My freaking apartment complex got bought out by a different company. That's the second time it's happened in the span of like 6 years. Kind of silly. That has just added a whole bunch of other stuff to my plate when I'd much rather be playing some video games. God, imagine if I had other responsibilities. Okay, I can now put away the military backpacks and just hand carry them out of the trunk. You know, I never did like fully blocking the back door. And I didn't even use it that much in the previous build. I'm going to be using it so much more often in this build. One of the biggest reasons I made this roundabout access here and spent all the extra gravel on it is so that I could drive around back where my storage is always going to be. I could never get around, I could never like square it in my head putting storage anywhere but the back wall. Just because of the fixed isometric view of the game, it lets you see where you're standing in front of the crates best if it's on a back wall. Or at least a left wall over there. If it's on the right wall or the front wall, it's painful to deal with, in my opinion. I don't feel like answering a spam phone call right now. Thank you very much. Anyway, there we go. Still have one more. 9 more and the whole back wall is done, and I've got more than that. Fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We have ourselves a fully stocked back wall. Now, one thing I got to keep in mind is that my new base has a little bit less real estate than my old one. That was intentional. Kind of like having things a little bit closer together, especially so that I can illuminate everything with a single lamp. These last two I shall put around the corner where I intend on putting my butchering stuff. So I did rough up the hood a little bit. Thankfully the windshield still looks good. Second ambulance can get moved. Oh, jeez Louise. The disappearing vehicles problem. The devs acknowledged that as an issue, a known issue, as soon as this patch came out. I find it so silly that they couldn't hotfix it. Like, if they know it's a problem, whatever. Almost led to me shaving some paint off of my beloved ambulance that I just went through all the effort of fixing up. That was pretty much an entire 4-hour session dedicated just to fixing the ambulances and the other LEO vehicles that have light bars. Very worth it. I mean, ambulances are amazing. 490 horsepower, up to 160 in the trunk if you got organized. Fantastic vehicles. I love them so much. I always consider it an amazing blessing if I can get my hands on an intact one. But even when I don't, it's just something to prioritize a fix on. And that is one very empty vehicle. This can now return to being my logging vehicle, so I'm actually going to put this rope into the back of it. Start loading up the animal bones. You know, I've never actually tested to see if other animals get stressed out and go nuts if you butcher an animal right in front of them like this. If that's the case, it actually would be a very bad idea to put my butchering stuff over here. But, I suppose I'll find that out eventually. Worst case scenario, I'll just move it to the other side. I'm keeping my fresh water on the ground as opposed to my cow milk on the table there, so that I can tell the difference between them. Alright, so we are going to sleep, just like I've been doing so far, to avoid the glitch that sometimes causes the game to crash, or rather to live with it. I'm going to quit to main menu so that the save gets properly dumped. And then just reload the game. So now if the game crashes, no loss. And we did not get cold, despite the temperature falling below freezing. No, I am actually a doofus, and I left the car running because I'm a doofus. Should not have did that. Actually, I probably should check to see if Beard replied to me. Somebody else joined in. And this person is just talking about lag. Not talking about the crash itself. Okay. Well, did my due diligence. I can't expect the devs to be working too much later on a Friday night, after all. Reading. We sleep again. Yeah, look at that. The temperature's getting down to 27 degrees. And I was still able to be insulated enough not to get cold, despite sleeping technically outside, but with a roof over my head so I don't get wet if it rains. Very good way to postpone having to worry about putting a massive roof on your base like this. In fact, right now I don't actually have any, like, serious incentive to get the roof down. I want to, but I don't really have that part of an incentive. Like, this military officer jacket probably has enough insulation to keep me down to the 10s of Fahrenheit. It's freedom units. Alright, folks, that's probably it for me tonight. It's had a very long day. I'm going to definitely do a big stream tomorrow, probably a 12-hour stream tomorrow. But whenever it's a weeknight, I can probably keep it around 4 hours or so. Okay. Yeah, folks. Oops.